It was a summer Sophia would never forget. Standing on her balcony, she gazed out at the sprawling gardens of her family estate, her heart heavy with secrets. If anyone knew what happened that summer, she thought to herself, my name would be erased from every whisper of this town. But some loves are worth every risk, even if it meant losing everything. She slipped into the gardens under the cover of moonlight. There, waiting for her by the hidden bench, was Daniel, the gardener's son. His hands were clenched nervously as she approached. "Sophia, we can't keep doing this," Daniel said, his voice filled with worry. "If they find out—" "They won't," Sophia interrupted, gripping his hand tightly. "I'll find a way, I promise." The sound of crunching footsteps interrupted their moment. Both froze, their eyes darting toward a shadowy figure holding a lantern in the distance. "Go! Now!" Sophia whispered urgently. "I'll handle it." Daniel hesitated, but the look in her eyes convinced him. He disappeared into the shadows as the light grew closer. The next morning at breakfast, Sophia sat stiffly at the grand table with her father and her fiancé, Victor. Victor's voice broke the tense silence. "Sophia, the engagement gala is in 2 weeks," he said smugly. "Have you decided on a dress?" "Not yet, Victor," she replied, forcing a smile. "I've been busy." Her father set down his coffee cup with a clink. "Busy wandering the gardens, perhaps," he said, his tone sharp. "You've been seen speaking with the gardener's boy." Sophia's fork clattered onto her plate. Her heart raced as she tried to keep her composure. "He's just a worker. Why does it matter?" she asked, feigning indifference. Victor leaned forward, a smirk playing on his lips. "Because, my dear, your choices affect more than just you. A scandal could ruin us all, and I don't tolerate disrespect." Sophia bit her lip, swallowing the retort burning in her throat. Later that day, she rushed to the gardens where she found Daniel packing his tools. "Daniel, no! You can't leave!" she pleaded, her voice trembling. Daniel looked up, sadness in his eyes. "I don't have a choice, Sophia. Your father's men came by this morning. They threatened my family. Then we'll leave together," she said, her determination solidifying. "Tonight, meet me at the train station at midnight." That night, the train station was eerily quiet. Sophia, cloaked and trembling, waited anxiously on the platform. A lone train whistle pierced the silence, but Daniel was nowhere in sight. Her heart sank as footsteps echoed behind her. She turned, relief flashing across her face. But it wasn't Daniel. It was Victor. "Did you really think you could leave, Sophia?" Victor's voice was low and menacing. "With him?" He stepped closer, his eyes dark with anger. "I warned you. Your actions have consequences." Before Sophia could respond, Daniel emerged from the shadows, his fists clenched. "Let her go," he said, his voice firm. Victor laughed mockingly but didn't finish before Daniel punched him. The two men struggled briefly before Sophia grabbed Daniel's arm. "Stop! He's not worth it," she said, pulling him away. Victor glared at them, clutching his bruised face. "You'll regret this," he spat as he stumbled off. Sophia and Daniel ran to the train, boarding just as the doors closed. As the train began to move, they sat side by side, the city lights fading into the distance. Sophia rested her head on Daniel's shoulder, a small smile on her lips. "We may have lost everything," she said softly, "but at least we have each other." Daniel kissed her forehead gently, and the train whistle sounded again as they disappeared into the night.